No, we need to be better. Whether we throw it or pass it there, in those situations, we have to be better.
No secret that the Cleveland Browns is in a quarterback debacle, man. Every week they're hanging on by needles and pins at the quarterback position, and the problem could easily be fixed if they play one player. That is number 12, quarterback out of Colorado, Shador Sanders, bro.
Um, Obviously, watch the tape this morning and watching it now with the players, and a ton of areas that we just need to be better and need to be better.
Browns and the Dillon Gabriel experiment has failed.
Now, he's going to say that he didn't see the ball was handed off. He's coming around that corner, and all he sees.
Let's stop pretending. That Browns versus Dolphins win, it wasn't proof of progress. It was proof of panic. Dillon Gabriel didn't lead a victory. He survived one. Every pass looked like it came straight from a high school playbook. Screens, dumps, and scared checkdowns. And we're calling that a future? Please. If this is the Browns' big plan, they're in more trouble than the scoreboard shows. Tonight, we're breaking down the ugly truth. The numbers, the play calling, the coaching, and why this experiment is collapsing in real time. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll see exactly why Cleveland's win felt like a loss and why the clock on Dillon Gabriel just ran out.
But obviously, Dillon is in his second start. Some good things to build off of. He's learning, just like all young players are learning for us right now, and we'll continue to try to, get him to make those improvements that young players make, and also play better around him. That's our focus.
Let's strip the logos off the helmets and call it what it was. Two bruised teams feeling around in the dark, hoping the other blinks first. Cleveland survives, Miami sputters, and Twitter calls it growth. But watch the sequences. Early scripted runs, quick outs, and drives that depend on yards after catch instead of a quarterback dictating terms. That's survival ball. And survival ball only lasts until a defense stops biting. If you walked away thinking, why did this one feel empty? Because it was. Winning with a minimized playbook is like passing an exam because the teacher gave you multiple choice. It gets you through the day, not through the season. The Browns' identity right now is defense plus run game plus prayers. That formula can steal Sundays, but it doesn't build Januaries. If that sounds harsh, good. The tape is harsher.
Still refusing to give Shador Sanders his shot, decided to keep trusting Dillon Gabriel, a quarterback who threw for just 55 yards in the first half.
Here's the trap. A tidy completion percentage and low turnover count make the stat line look calm. But the film screams another story. It screens, swings, and sight reads that barely challenge leverage. Where the layered reads, the whole shots versus cover two. The firm, anticipatory throws into rhythm windows. You can hide a quarterback behind manufactured touches for a half. You cannot build a season on it. Watch the body language after check downs. Receivers resetting their gloves instead of pointing downfield. Linemen half setting because they know the ball's gone in 1.8 seconds. Safeties walking downhill a step pre-snap because they don't fear the post. When defenses stop respecting your ceiling, they compress your floor. And that's what's happening here. Dillon Gabriel didn't manage the game managed him. There's a difference, and opponents can smell it before the first snap.
No, we need to be better. Whether we throw it or pass it there, in those situations, we have to be better.
A real test for a young QB is drive stagnation. When a series opens with a stuff or a penalty, does the quarterback expand the menu, or does the sideline shrink it? With Gabriel, you saw a coaching staff flipping to the laminated safe side, quick perimeter touches, RPO bubbles, and horizontal stress. That's fine as a constraint package. It's fatal as a diet. The moment you need a gotta-have-it throw, deep curl on time, dagger in rhythm, backside dig against pressure, do you have it? Or do you settle for live to punt? The best young quarterbacks build scar tissue and swagger in those exact snaps. We didn't see that progression. We saw a plan to avoid disaster. It's like trying to win a boxing match by never leaving your corner. You won't get knocked out, but you're not scaring anybody either. And in this league, fear is leverage.
The sad part also is Judkins running all over Miami to hide Dillon Gabriel's struggles. The Judkins performance continues once again to hide the struggles of Dillon Gabriel's 2 weeks in a row.
Let's talk Kevin Stefanski. He's not clueless, he's cautious. And cautious play calling with a limited QB becomes a feedback loop. Fewer intermediate shots, safeties compress, run lanes vanish, third and long becomes a punt rehearsal. That's how a defense-first roster ends up playing 40 minutes a week. The playbook felt like it was designed to protect the scoreboard, not pressure the opponent. And when your best defensive player is the head coach's do no harm button, you're telegraphing to 31 other teams that you don't trust your passer. It's subtle. Reduced motion on must-pass downs, fewer full-field progressions, high percentage swings to beat the blitz instead of punishing it. Result? Defenses get comfortable calling you vanilla. The Browns need a signal caller who forces Stefanski to call the middle of the field, on time, on rhythm, on purpose. Until then, expect crowded boxes and joyless possessions.
I feel like Shador Sanders could come in and immediately catapult the offense.
If you're looking for a pros pro on offense, circle Quinton Judkins. Vision, leg drive, balance through contact. He's the human metronome this group leans on. Early, he churns. Late, the defense adjusts. That's not on him. It's geometry. When safeties squat at 10 yards and backers step downhill on every snap, your runway disappears. What keeps a run game fresh isn't just brute force, it's vertical fear. Without a QB who taxes the deep third, your RB takes body blows all night. Judkins still manufactures yards because he's that good, stringing jump cuts and second effort finishes. But the second half tells the truth. Sustainable production requires a credible air threat. If Cleveland upgrades the passing stress, Judkins becomes a closer, not a cover-up. Right now, he's both the spark and the smokescreen. And that's asking a lot of a rookie in October football.
Shedeur can pick this offense up with no problem. I've watched him for 4 years. Darren, we know good and well. Like, come on.
Beating Miami without their full-speed vertical terror isn't the litmus it looks like. The Dolphins' entire spacing philosophy shifts when defenses don't have to panic about the roof coming off. Tua thrives on rhythm, leverage, and YAC. Take away the panic button and the quick game narrows. That's exactly why this result can seduce Cleveland into thinking the current approach works. Against neutered speed, conservative offense looks competent. Against playoff defenses that disguise, carry, and close windows late, that script collapses fast. The danger here is mistaking opponent injuries for your own improvement curve. You don't benchmark a passing game by how it looks versus compromised explosives. You benchmark it by how it answers a 3rd and 8 when the DC knows you must throw and still can't stop you. Until Cleveland proves that this win is a mirror, not a map.
It's no secret that guys in the locker room is rocking out with Shedeur. We just seen ample footage of even veteran player Myles Garrett chopping it up with Shedeur on the sidelines.
Broadcasts love safe archetypes. Poised game manager, natural leader, protects the ball. Those labels lull fan bases into patience because they sound responsible. But leadership at QB isn't a slogan. It's violence to a coverage shell. It's holding a safety with your eyes, ripping a seam on time, and making a defense pay for cheating a split second. If the tape shows defenders driving routes with impunity and sitting on slants like they've read the script, that's not leadership. That's permission. You'll hear low turnover like it's a crown. It's not when it's purchased by avoiding high-leverage throws. Ball security matters, but so does juice. The Browns need a QB who tilts the field, not just one who doesn't spill coffee on the play sheet. Don't let soft-focus commentary gaslight what your eyes already know. Safe isn't the same as sustainable.
Shedeur has had 6 offensive play callers. 6 offensive. Deion has said that. And for people to think that he can't read defenses, do they forget who his daddy is? I mean,
What do you mean he can't? Like, his father was a defensive player covering receivers.
again, that's what pisses me off about the local.
Defenses talk, even when cameras aren't rolling. They know when they're carrying the piano and when the offense can play it. You can sense it in the pass rush urgency, the sideline huddles, the hands on hips after yet another short field. Elite defenders will keep you in games, but morale erodes when the formula is always hold them to 17 and pray. That's how tiny mistakes become daggers. A late hit extends a drive. A coverage bust becomes 7 because the margin is razor thin. The Browns roster is built to bully waves of rushers, fast second level, opportunistic DBs. Reward that identity with a quarterback who multiplies possessions instead of rationing them. The most dangerous version of Cleveland is the one that makes opponents play from behind. Right now, the offense asks the defense to be perfect. In the AFC, perfect is a fairy tale.
Because Shador Sanders isn't just the future of the Browns, he's the future of the league, man.
This isn't just about replacing a nameplate. It's about rewriting geometry. A quarterback who throws on time between the numbers turns those condensed boxes into 2 high shells. Safeties stop squatting, backers hesitate a beat, and suddenly outside zone hits north-south again. Play action gains teeth because linebackers can't overplay stretch without fearing the glance behind them. Vertical shots aren't just highlights, they're policy. They tell DCs, cheat and we punish. That player also accelerates Stefanski's best concepts. Flood, dagger, glance RPO, Yankee. You get real 2-for-1 drives. Points before the half, points after the half, because you can trigger tempo and hunt matchups without training wheels. And yes, pocket poise matters. Drifting with intention, resetting base after hitches, climbing to throw, not to run. Give a locker room a QB who hunts windows, not outlets, and watch how fast the sideline believes again.
We have to be better. There are things that we're doing that are good, things that we have to build off of, and there's things that we have to get better at. But it's never going to be about one person.
Cleveland stands at the classic fork. Do you keep stacking safe Sundays and hope the profile matures by January? Or do you raise the ceiling now and live with the growing pains? The schedule won't get kinder, and the league has you tape. Defenses will squeeze space, dare you to be brave, and take the run game hostage in the fourth quarter. That's the cost of waiting. The reward of acting? Clarity. Either your offense erupts with a quarterback who forces depth and width, or you learn what you must draft and develop with brutal honesty. Both outcomes beat purgatory, because purgatory sells you on almost explosive, almost balanced, almost ready. The roster is too good for almost. Make a decision that scares defensive coordinators, not just comforts the sideline. The window's open now. Don't let caution close it.
Is it finally time to start Shador Sanders so he can take over in Cleveland?
So here's the truth Cleveland can't outrun. You can't bully your way to February with a playbook built to not lose. Not in this conference. Not with these defenses. Dillon Gabriel didn't answer the big question. He spotlighted it. If the Browns want to trade stale for scary, they need a quarterback who punishes greed, stretches grass, and makes safeties backpedal in warm-ups. Agree? Disagree? Drop your verdict in the comments. Ride with this safe plan, or rip the Band-Aid and raise the ceiling. If you want the full all-22 breakdown, smash like, hit subscribe, and ring that bell. I'll post the film study next. Cleveland, your defense is ready. Your run game is ready. The only question left is, will your quarterback be?